We are back for Season 4 with Reading, and this season we have to be getting promotion. That has to be the goal. Obviously, it's been the goal for the last 2 seasons, technically, but this season we really do need to get up into the Premier League, and to do so, we've done a fair bit of business over the summer. We've sold a lot of players, we've brought in a fair amount of players, and not really spent a lot of money either. Something that technically happened last season, Jairo Riedveld has left. He's gone to Charlotte FC for £2.3 million. It's why you didn't see him in the last episode of Season 3, because he moved on basically in about April time. Tom Holmes has made the jump over to Bolton for £1 million. We didn't really need him. We kind of ran out of central defender positions. Tom Holmes was one of those to get sacrificed. For £240,000, we have moved David Turnbull on. He wasn't playing for us, was he? And he's moved back up to his native Scotland. Hopefully he'll get some game time there, because he kind of needs it. For £1.9 million, we have sold Zach Schwab, a player who I wasn't quite sure why I brought him in, and then Saints wanted to buy him, and they've paid stupid money for him, so I kind of just broke their arm off when they offered that. And finally, this one hurts, but it was done with basically trying to keep the club afloat in mind. For £10 million, Nathan Ferguson has moved over to Al Fatah in, I'm assuming, Saudi Arabia. He has gone to Saudi Arabia. I think it's potentially, 8 to 10 million. It's going to go up to £10 million. We played him, obviously, a lot over the last 2 years, but we do have a very good replacement. And that is Brooke Norton-Cuffy, formerly of Arsenal, formerly of Millwall, Oxford, Peterborough, Coventry. He's been out on loan a lot. He got released, his contract expired. We've picked him up. He's getting paid too much money, if I'm perfectly honest, but the versatility of Norton-Cuffy, I think, is going to come in very handy, and obviously he's going to be our number 1 right back for the season. We've also brought in a man called Lewis Warrington from Everton, 23 years of age. He's a central midfielder by trade, and we're training him up to be a right winger, because we've got too many central midfielders. We've brought in a new goalkeeper in the shape of Mirko Pigliacelli from Palermo, played 131 times for them. He's also had a fair amount of time playing over in Romania as well, which is a bit strange, but fair enough. 33, obviously he's on the latter stages of his career, but he can do a job for us. He's not going to be playing every game. Sticking with Italy, we have brought in Fredrik Nilsson, 21-year-old Swedish under-21 international from AC Milan. I think this is a good signing. This is another one of the reasons why we sold Tom Holmes, because we've got this guy in. He's getting paid half, maybe even a quarter of the amount of money that Holmes was getting paid as well. So I think financially, this is a sensible bit of business. Also, he's a model citizen, if that means something to anybody out there. Another central midfielder to join is Freddie Potts, formerly of West Ham and VVV Venlo, and a bit of Wickham on loan by the looks of it, on a free transfer. Brought him in because he's a defence midfielder. Basically, that's why he's here. We've also loaned in Josh Wilson-Esbrand from Manchester City until the end of the season. We needed a bit more depth at left-back, and actually, he's going to be our number 1 left-back for the season, I think. Another central defender to join is Nahuel Ferraresi. Ferraresi. You're going to go with Ferraresi. Formerly of MC Talk in Uruguay. MC Talk, I believe, are the feeder club, or one of the many feeder clubs to Manchester City, so they obviously have some very good players. He's come in on a free transfer. I think he's going to be very good for us. Somebody else who I think is going to be very, very good for us is Liam Delap. We have not loaned in a striker this season. Instead, we have brought in 2 strikers, one of them long-term, which is the Liam Delap deal, and one of them slightly more short-term that we'll get to in just a second. But Liam Delap, obviously formerly of Man City, spent some time out on loan at Birmingham, Hull, not really scored a huge amount of goals anywhere, until he's come to Reading, and he's got 7 in 7 so far. It's Danny Ings. We brought in Danny Ings at 34 years of age. Yes, he's probably over it now, but Danny Ings is very good. He's still very good. Him and Liam Delap up front, I think, is going to be a very, very good partnership. He's already got 3 goals in 5 starts and an assist to his name as well. Only getting paid £4,000 a week. He is a coach. He's not a good coach, but he is in as a coach because that's what he really wanted to do. He wanted to be a coach, so we thought, you know what, let's get him in for a season as a player. Then he can do the whole coaching stuff, and maybe by the end of the season 4, he's actually going to be a half-decent coach as well. I'm not expecting much, though. We have also brought in 2 ridiculously good youngsters. Carlos Peña is the first one. He is a Colombian signed from Estrellas de Turianalta. Basically, over Christmas, I went scouting, and I went to the depths of the earth to find some players, and Carlos Peña is one of them, 18 years of age, left back and left winger. He's a left winger to me. He's worth £12.5 million. Just to put it into context, he was free. We brought him in for absolutely nothing, so I think he might play pretty much every game this season. If we can get away with it, we might play him a lot, although Stevenage want him on loan. Do we just loan him out for a year? We have also brought in Abdulhamid Mansouri, who is an 18-year-old Algerian striker from Academy JMG Paradou, a club that you really should be looking at if you want to buy players from Africa, from Algeria. They are very, very good. They always seem to produce some half-decent players, and he obviously, I'm hoping, is an example of that. And much like Pena, his current ability, his current value is 10 million to 14.5 million pounds. So there's something there. The game thinks there's something there. He's probably going to be playing a lot of football this season, rotating with Delap and Ings. So that is our transfer business. We have sold 11.25 million. Actually, I think we've sold a little bit more than 11.25 million pounds. We've sold Pepra as well. He's left for 1.1 million pounds. We've sold we've loaned out a lot of player space. You can see there, Achampong, Bonzo, Leai. We loaned out Basil Tumor again, which might have been a mistake. Aaron White, Dewar, Coke Miles Smith, which is too many hyphenations there, mate. Joe Barra's gone to Shrewsbury. Kelvin has gone out on loan to Fleetwood. That is one of the reasons why we actually brought in Danny Ings, because I was planning on loaning him out because I think he needs more football. We've loaned out loads and loads of players, which is always good to see. And I don't normally show this, but we also have released Femi Aziz and Louis Holtzman. Aziz was too expensive for us. He didn't really do what we needed him to do anymore. Wasn't really playing, so we kind of just let his contract expire. He's landed on his feet at Grimsby. And so far this season, well, things have gone not great, let's be honest. We are currently 11th place in the table. We started off ridiculously well with a 4-0 win, and then we get knocked out of the Carabao Cup. We draw 0-0, we draw 2-2, we beat Millwall 4-0, so when we win 4-0, and when we don't win, we normally draw. We lost against Bristol City 3-2, we draw with Hull, and we draw with Swansea 3-3. So we've scored a lot of goals. Problem is, we've drawn 4 of our 7 games so far. But obviously, early days, still just 3 points away from actually being in the playoffs. Match number 1 of the episode then is going to be away from home against Blackburn Rovers. This is our starting 11. Boyce Clark will be our number 1 goalkeeper for the season, so he stays in goal. Abrefa, he's coming in because Norton Cuffey is currently slightly injured, so Abrefa's going to be playing, but he's still pretty decent. Mepham House and Wilson Esbrand round off the defence. Offerborough and Kozlov's in midfield today. Hamilton is still there, but we played a match like 3 days ago, so there's a little bit of rotation going on for fitness. Banks and Carlos Pena on the wings. Pena will be making his debut today because Onyedinma is a little bit tired. Danny Ings and Leon Delap leading the lines for this one. I'm tempted to do that. Do we do Mansouri playing up front and then drop Ings to the bench because he's obviously not fully match fit either? I think we do. So Blackburn Rovers have obviously just been relegated from the Premier League. They got promoted in our first season, I believe, in the Championship, because they actually were the team to knock us out of the playoffs, weren't they? So yeah, they've just been relegated from the Premier League. They're obviously very good. I don't know how good they are. I'm hoping we're a reasonable side. I probably should have checked before this match as well, done like the whole season preview to see where we're expected to finish. Banks to Mansouri. It's taken a deflection of Ferrari, and Abdelhamid Mansouri gets his first goal in Reading colours, his first goal in England as well. We take the lead. It wasn't the most convincing, but first time shot, that's an own goal, isn't it? Let's be honest. I'm not going to complain though, because if that means we are going to pick up 3 points against Blackburn, then that will move us up into currently 8th place, depending on how results go around us, but 8th is not bad. Corner for Blackburn right at the death of the first half. Cross comes in. It's a header clear. Pena's chasing it down. Picked up a yellow card. He's got a green hairband on. I don't even know whether you can see that in the video, but he's got a green hairband on. He's taken 17 deflections. That's not Wharton's goal either. That's definitely an own goal off a defender. I did get very excited by the fact that I've got a Colombian with a green headband on. Probably more excited about that than what was going on in the highlight. Right, half-time then. It is at 1-1. Pena's not playing well. Abdulhamid, though, is playing very good up front, which is what we like to see. Sami Smodjic has come on for Blackburn. Obviously, real life, I think he's like the joint top goal scorer, or maybe even he is the top goal scorer in the Championship at the moment, with a fair amount of goals. Well, I really hope Season 4 does not just play out like this. We've had 2 highlights and 2 goals, and that is it in this match. We're going to do a change. Pena is on a 6.2. He's not doing very well. I did not put Onyedinma on the bench. I was going to, and then thought against not doing it. So Hamilton's going to come on. Danny Ings is going to come on as well for Liam Delap. And I will do you that way round. That makes a bit more sense to me. Offerborough as well is going to come off for Potts. Right, final 15 minutes, and it's not looking like the most entertaining game. We've literally had, we've had one shot. We've just had a second and a third. None of them are deemed highlight worthy. We've finally got a highlight. Travis plays the ball forward to Bloxham on the ground, intercepted by Mepham quite easily. Kozlov's ball forward, finds Banks. Danny Ings on the spin. Danny Ings goes for goal. It is well saved by the keeper. just seen Wilson Esbrand has an injury, but there's only 10 minutes left, so we'll maybe keep him on. Possibly, I think we've got, what's his name, Guinness Walker? That's his name, isn't it? On the bench, but there's 10 minutes to play. Counter-attack isn't going to happen. Good. Right, we are going to do the change, so Guinness Walker is going to come on. I'm not sure what that injury is. Does it even tell us? It's a lower leg injury. Right, Scott Banks as well probably needs to come off, and that's a weird thing that we're going to do, but Verrill George is coming on. Mansouri is going to move over to the right-hand side. I think that is all of our changes. A 1-1 draw doesn't sound bad, but if we look at the league table, Blackburn, they're down in 14th, potentially moving up actually to 14th place. It's a corner? I don't know what's happened there. They've got another injury. They've had 3 injuries in this match, by the way. Smodzic has gone over. That's why there's 9 minutes of injury time to play. What is going on? Sammy Smodzic then, with the corner on the right-hand side. We've got 8 minutes to play. What, are you going to do anything, guy? Here he goes, eventually takes the corner. Binder is at the front post. Danny Ings is chasing it down. The old man of the Reading side doesn't go anywhere near the ball. Highlights ends. Still not quite finished. We've had more highlights in injury time than we did in the first half. I think Ferrari with the ball goes for a little wander. It plays it back to the keeper. Not the best pass, to be honest. Header forward. Kozlovs finds Mansouri on that right-hand side. The Algerian plays it into Danny Ings. Verrill George is in the middle. Verrill George is there. And how has he not scored? I'm looking to loan out Verrill George, by the way, but obviously we've got some injuries going on at the moment, so he's going to sit on the bench. Guinness Walker goes over to take the corner. We've got a minute and a half to play of injury time. Can we nick a winner? It's towards a breather. Goalkeeper comes out, easily holds on to that one. I think that is probably the highlight. But another one starts, and Blackburn have the ball up in our half. Kozlovs doesn't get it far enough forward. Smodzic plays it on the ground. Steffi Mavididi bangs it into the bottom corner. In the 99th minute out of 99, we have lost against Blackburn. Oh, it was coming, wasn't it? You just felt it was coming. They were the better side for most of the game. They've picked up the 3 points. This is frustrating, isn't it? They didn't do anything in the second half. They didn't do anything in the first half either. They just scored 2 goals in extra time in both halves of football. Right, luckily for us, Esbrand Wilson is only out for 1 to 3 days. That's not too bad. Pena makes his debut in English football. And it was rubbish, mate. It was really bad. One player, last game. Our strikers were feeding off scraps. Sure, good. At least he accepted it. We've jumped forward a few more days, and by a few more days, it's now mid-October, and we've played some more matches, and we've done all right, I guess. We've beaten Bolton 4-2, we beat Sheffield Wednesday 2-0, and then we lose against Watford, a team who were down the wrong end of the table, I think 19th when we played them, and then we've just lost against West Brom as well. So, we picked up a total of 6 points from 12 in between. We've not really done particularly well. We're currently sat mid-table, 12th place, 16 points on the board. I think we are as close to the playoffs as we are to the relegation zone at this point. I'm not confident this season's going to go well for us. We're now going to play Peterborough, who were down in 21st. I'm hoping we can at least win one match on camera today. So I think we are pretty much at full strength. There's only really one change that I would potentially make in this. Boyce Clark in goal, Norton Cuffy, Ferraresi and House and Wilson Esbrand in defence. That's a difficult name to say. Who else? Quite difficult as well, isn't it? He's going to be called Ferrari. I'm sorry, we're just going to call him Ferrari accidentally. Offerer and Hamilton in midfield. Banks and Pena on the wings. Delap and Ings up front. Pena is still playing as a left winger. He's played every match in between after the Blackburn game and hasn't been very good. Onyedinma is back, but he's been kind of in and out of sort of fitness concerns, so we're not starting him, but he will be coming off the bench. That's probably the one player change that I would want to be in our first team. Mepham is out injured, but he is on the subs bench. I don't think we should do that. We haven't got any centre-backs. You're 6'1". You might be able to do a job if we really need to have a centre-back. Right, Mepham's dropped. We've got a Breather. We've got Nissen. It's fine. I think if that's the case, then we'll put George on the bench as well. Right, there we go. Let's beat Peterborough, a match we definitely should be good enough to win. So realistically, our objective for, I guess, now this season, obviously we want to get promoted, but looking at how far away Stoke and Bristol are from us at the moment, 10 points, in fact, between us and Bristol, if everything stays this way, it's the playoffs again. If we're going to go up, it's going to have to be through the playoffs. If we're going to go up as well, guys, we do need to have some highlights and some goals. 28 minutes on the clock, and we do finally have something going on. Liam Delap plays it across to Banks. goes forward a little bit. Long range effort from Scotty Banks, and Sergio Pat in goal for Peterborough makes a very good save. Norton Cuffy is the man to go over to take that corner from the left. It's towards Courtney House, towards the back post, but he doesn't quite get there. Banks collects it. Keep this one alive, please. House to Offenborough, plays it all the way back to Pena. I still love the fact that he's got a green hairband on. Pena's lost out. He should be quick enough to recollect that ball, and does so, but we don't see any more of the highlight. Looking at the match stats, we are definitely on top. Peterborough yet to have a shot. Literally, as I say it, they do have a shot, but they've had one shot, and it apparently wasn't very good. They've now had 3 shots, and this is potentially shots number 4 coming. Banks intercepts it for us, though. Finds Danny Ings. He's wearing gloves. Why? It's the middle of October, Danny. You don't need gloves, mate. Hamilton back to Pena. He should be wearing gloves. He's from Colombia. He's got no idea about this weather. Pena, can he get his cross away? He does towards Banks at the back post. It's not the best effort from Banks. Goes over the bar. It's going to be 0-0 at half time unless something comes from this highlight. Sergio Pat's big kick upfield only finds Courtney House. Pena to Wilson Esbrand. The Man City loanee. I did want to get him on a free transfer or a permanent transfer, but they extended his contract annoyingly. Banks heads forward. He doesn't head forward at all. In fact, Moore has it for Peterborough. He's going to go down that left-hand side. 1 minute of injury time to play in the first half. Liam Delap, the striker, chasing back to nick that ball. Offenborough lumps it towards Pena. It's nowhere near him, and it's coming straight back towards us. Pena's chasing down the ball, though. Vidigal crosses it in. It's toward Brooke. Brooke, buddy, what are you doing? So Norton Cuffy just pushes him straight over. Now Devine steps up. Penalty against Boyce Clark. Come on, Boyce. He's gone the right way, but it's into the bottom corner. We are 1-0 down against Peterborough. And that was literally the last kick of the first half. The last kick of the first half. I mean, we've been terrible. We have been terrible. Go straight into the second half and actually do something, guys. Ferraresi. It's not easy to say. Ferrari. That'll do. Norton Cuffy on the right-hand side. You need to make amends for giving away the penalty. Banks in the middle finds Delap. First time shot from Delap is well saved by Sergio Pat, the former Dutch international goalkeeper, I think he's got a couple of caps. He's like 36 now. Norton Cuffy's gone over to take the resulting corner. Towards the middle, it's headed upwards, and Amos heads off for another corner to us. Norton Cuffy again goes over to take it. I want it on 19's head, on Ferrari's head, or Offenborough. Offenborough will do. Anyone, to be honest. It's anyone's head. Scott Banks collects it. Highlight ends. Another begins with Norton Cuffy and the throw. Banks back to Norton Cuffy. Offenborough tries to get some space for the cross. Norton Cuffy instead could be the one to get the cross in. He does. He finds Liam Delap, and Liam Delap gets goal number 10 of the season. We have made it 1-1. We really should be beating Peterborough, guys. They're in a relegation scrap. Right, on the hour mark, we're going to have to do a change. Danny Ings has not turned up today, so that is going to be your day done, my friend. Ings is coming off. Mansouri is going to be the man to come on and replace him. Offenborough as well is going to come off for Potts. Potts I've brought in. He's going to be more of the defensive midfielder because he's got 11 tackling. He's got 16 passing and 17 technique. Arguably, you should be the DLP, and you should... I don't know who should be the defensive one. We'll go with Potts. Why not? Pena as well is going to come off on your Dinmer. Right, so 3 subs done after 60 minutes. We've still got 30 minutes to play to hopefully find a winner. Wilson Esbrand, Tamika Hamilton. Can he whip the cross in? Can't manage it. Finds Wilson Esbrand again. He's gone for a cross towards Banks at the back. Burrows clears it. Woodburn keeps the ball in play as well. Back to Burrows. Harrison Burrows goes for a little run. I think he's quite good, isn't he? Or am I thinking of last season's Football Manager where he was quite good? Banks collects the ball, plays it to Mansouri. He's not going to get there. Liam Delap does, though. Right place, right time for Liam Delap. And we take the lead 2-1, 64 minutes played. I want to get another goal. I really don't trust us at just 2-1. Into the final 15 minutes. It looks like Peterborough are doing a whole bunch of changes and squad rotations to try and get a little bit more offensive. Right now, it has been a very even game. 8 shots to their 6. Both teams have 6 on target. Nothing's happened in the final 15 minutes. We're going to do some time-wasting changes. Nissan's going to come on for Courtney House. We'll do that one change. Pause it, press play, and then we'll get to 90. We'll pause it again, and we'll do our final change, which is going to be Guinness Walker for Wilson Esbrand in that left-back position. So that is it for our changes. We've got 4 minutes to play. Nothing's going to happen. I was going to say it's a good 3 points. It's not a good 3 points. It should have been a guaranteed 3 points. Liam Delap, once again, by the way, he's done this a few times now, is the man of the hour. 2 goals in the second half, picking up the win. And we are still, I guess, kind of in contention for that playoff spot. So right now, then, we are in 10th place, 4 points behind Swansea, who are in 6th. That is obviously our target. I mean, there's a lot of teams in this battle. Arguably, Millwall up to Burnley. There are 5 points. 6 points separating 8th down to 19th place. That's a big amount of teams. And I think that is where we're going to go next. We are going to head up to Burnley on the 19th of December. We're probably going to have a match as well somewhere in January. And also maybe the first match as well outside of the January transfer window, which might be Hull. It might actually be Swansea. I'm not quite sure.